All right. Today is the day we talk about connecting with people by using genuine curiosity. You know, having genuine curiosity is about learning to ask the right questions. It's about being inquisitive. You know, no one can know everything. In fact, too many people pretend to know information when they don't even have a clue. Then there are those who are inquisitive. They have that genuine curiosity. While some may believe these people are prying, they're often simply asking questions because they don't know the answers. When you learn to ask the right questions, um, um, when you learn how to ask the right questions, um, when you're genuine, people will be more than willing to answer your questions. You can use their answers to help them in some way. This will further their appreciation. Of course, you don't want to ask questions for the sake of asking. Find reasons uh, to ask and keep those reasons genuine. Know what you want to learn before the conversation. If you're trying to learn about someone, see if you can determine what information you would like to obtain from them. Perhaps you learn that they're from a country you've always been interested in visiting. This would be a great way to start a conversation with them. Ask them what their home country is like and ask about tips when visiting. They may even hook you up with better places to see through their own connections. Another example is that if you're looking to learn how to do something the other person knows how to do, don't just ask them to teach you everything they know about the subject or skill. Try to get some preliminary information and use that as your basis to create questions to ask. The more you're familiar with the subject, the more they will be willing to impart their knowledge. This is not to say that they won't help an absolute beginner. It's just much easier when you've already got some kind of foundation of information. And ask the right kinds of questions. Formulate questions that make sense of the situation. Don't just think up random questions that you'll ask to kill some time. Respect their time. Respect the time of other people. You'll risk making them annoyed with you if you blurt out a bunch of general questions. It's okay to start out with a few of those, but make sure your questioning becomes more specific as you further the conversation. We have the advantage of using the internet to gain some knowledge about what we want to learn. You may even be able to find questions to ask from sites like ask.com or Quora.com. While you should be able to come up with a good number of questions on your own, sometimes referring to these websites can give ideas about what others want to know about a particular subject. To get high level information about a topic, check out Wikipedia. Of course, lately they've been saying Wikipedia is very slanted and woke, and it's not necessarily a straight line piece of information. It's not meant to be an extensive coverage, and often there's more information within these articles that's needed, but they can help you gather ideas on what to ask. If you do your homework ahead of time, you'll ask better questions. It can even be used in a way to break the ice by asking questions. You could say, "I read on that Wikipedia that blah blah blah." Okay, you can start with citing the sources of the research that you found. Take on a stance about learning from others or learning about others. You get in the habit of truly wanting to learn about others, become natural as you do it. If you just casually take an interest in the person once in a while, you won't get much from anybody. When people get used to the idea that you have an interest, they will volunteer more information, all things being equal. Again, it's that genuine curiosity. It's about being genuine. Try to fit what you learned into the situation at hand. If you learn about someone and their background, see if there's something you can do to make their lives easier. This will win people's hearts over. This will set up a comfortable environment for both of you. The more helpful you can be, the more likely people will want to talk to you. When they discover that you have their best interests at heart, when they discover that they have you as an ally, they'll come to you more often for advice and tips. Be on the lookout for information or people who can help them. Hook them up. By helping you develop a solid foundation where they will eventually want to help you. When you have this with many people, you will find getting others to accept what you're doing much easier. They will go out of their way to help you. This is called relationship capital. If you help somebody enough times, they almost feel a sense of obligation. It's like, wow, you helped me up several times before. Now I feel obligated. I feel it's a good thing to help you back. And listen well. If you ask a lot of questions, make sure you got your listening cap on. If you get nothing else out of this conversation I'm having with you right now, at least get to the fact that you should listen. When you listen to others and hear what they say, they will notice that you are showing that you care. Many people hear but don't listen. They're too busy thinking about what they're going to say after the other person stops talking. The best way to learn about other people is to listen, to what they are saying. You need to let them answer the questions you ask. It's really rude. It's like you ask a question, you ask another question, you ask another question. It's like, hey, I'm still trying to answer the question number 1, and you're already on question number 3. That's actually kind of rude. To process what they're saying, use the answers that people give you as the basis for your further questions. Sometimes repeating back to what they said will allow you to process the information better. In doing so, they will sometimes get further insight as well. This insight is often hidden from others who don't listen. And be available. People tend to flock to inquisitive people. This is because they know more than others over time, and it is done in a subtle manner. Asking good questions and listening to all answers is the foundations of a knowledgeable person, and maybe even the roots of a wise person. But if you don't make yourself available, this will hurt the good reputation you develop by asking questions. There will be situations where you're too busy to attend to others' needs. Try to keep these situations to a minimum. Make yourself available for people as often as you can. If you can't meet with people in person, then do it through, phone or email. And don't be the child that keeps asking why. It's great to be inquisitive, but you don't want to be like a 3-year-old child who asks why just to get attention. Children do like to learn, and they ask questions. But when young children find a great way to get people to attend to them, it becomes obnoxious. You'll often hear parents say, just because, after repeated asking of why. Adults can get into this habit as well. If you're constantly asking questions by just rattling off whatever comes to mind, you'll start getting the same pushback as the 3-year-old. Be strategic about the questions you ask, but not manipulative. Keeping an interest in learning about others is a great way to avoid this situation. Now, genuine curiosity is good, but try not to get too personal. Unless you're inquisitive with close family or friends, it's best not to let the questions get too personal. In many companies, you could even get in trouble for asking certain personal questions if the other person takes it the wrong way. This is why preparing what you want to learn about people ahead of time is a good approach to gauge topics that may not be appropriate. If you're unsure what topics are suitable to ask questions about, try them out on a friend or a family member. Get a feel of how they react when you ask the questions. Ask them for their honest opinion and try to gauge their body language. If they seem uncomfortable, you can imagine how someone who is less known will react. And look, not everybody's going to open up. You might find that, being inquisitive and having genuine curiosity doesn't sit well with some people. These people tend to be shy and take a lot. It takes a lot for them to open up. Asking questions puts up a wall for these people. If this does happen, don't get angry with the person. It's just the way they are, and you need to accept that. One of the questions I've learned is, if somebody kind of acts like I don't understand, I'll ask help me understand. You may need to answer questions as it relates to their job if you're their boss. And this is a trickier situation to deal with. Still, after they get to know you better, they may open up over time. Genuine curiosity, you'll never run out of things to say if you have genuine curiosity. And if you're asking a lot of questions and you're genuinely curious about people, and you use that curiosity, get to know people, keep a log or keep notes. People feel connected to you when you have that genuine curiosity, you take an interest in their lives. However, this goes out the window if you ask the same questions that you previously asked. So it gives them an opposite impression that you aren't paying attention. You will lose them quickly when this occurs. Try to write down what you learned about people, but do so after they're no longer within your sight. People will feel subconscious if you start writing down what they're saying as you ask them questions. They'll feel like they're being interviewed. To just summarize what we're talking about here, genuine curiosity is a great way to connect with people. If you have genuine curiosity, you'll never run out of things to talk about, and you'll really actually get to know people, and you'll feel more connected to them, and they'll feel more connected to you. It's that it's having their best interest in heart truly wins people over. This is just one of the things we like to talk about. I love helping people grow their businesses. Love helping them succeed in their businesses. Hate seeing people struggle. I hate seeing people fail. This is why I'm a business coach and I do the work that I do. And if you're genuinely curious to know how I might be able to help you, reach out to me. You can go to employeeescapeplan.com and just grab a spot on my calendar, and let's do a 30-minute conversation to get to know each other and see if there's ways that I can help you or possibly you can help me. This is Joe Nicasio, your business mentor. God bless you and have an amazing day.